Greetings, Eric Backer, naturopath from New Zealand, author of CanXida Crusher. Thanks for checking out my video today. Today we're going to talk about toxic people, about people that literally make you sick. So, you've probably seen some of my previous video clips, some my previous YouTube videos, where I talk about stress, particularly stress and yeast infection, stress and the inability of your immune system to properly fight, to properly power up and to counter a yeast infection. Now, one of the big reasons why a lot of people get sick with stress is other people. In fact, I think one of the most common stressors for people is relationships that they have with other people around them, people particularly that they're close to. This could also be in a working situation. So, it can be at home, could be socially, could be at work. There could be many different scenarios where you come into contact with people. Now, what I'd like you to do, particularly if you've had a long-term chronic yeast infection or you've been unwell for a long time, is to try and have a good look at the relationships of people that you've got around you right now. You may even want to write down the names of about 10 or 15 people and then just jot down behind those names, a little bit about that person. If you like that person, if you don't like that person. This may sound like a queer exercise, but I did this with a patient recently. A lady with very bad psoriasis, in fact, with a bad vaginal yeast infection. She had a lot of digestive problems. I got her to do this exercise and she came back and said, "It's my partner." I said, "What do you mean it's your partner?" She said, "Well, my partner lives overseas and it's giving me a lot of grief. I've been with this partner a long time and I'm not really happy with the relationship at all." So then I said, "Well, what are you going to do about it?" And she said, "Well, I know what I should be doing, but my heart tells me different from what my head tells me." So we had a bit of a discussion about it, but I recently had a Skype consultation with this patient and found that she'd improved 100%. Her skin looked amazing. Her digestive system had improved to a very high degree. And why? Because she got rid of this toxic person out of her life. So what we can learn from this is that relationships with people around us, it's a bit like being outside in the garden. Gardens need maintenance, just like relationships need maintenance. Sometimes we need to do a bit of serious pruning in the garden. We need to get a chainsaw or some big slashing tool and just chop whole things out. Other times we just need to do a little bit of pruning, just a bit of light trimming. Other times we need to do a bit of fertilizing. So we've got to get rid of some stuff, or we've got to build some stuff up. So you could extrapolate that through to your relationships. Now, in this case with this lady, she got hold of a chainsaw and she cut this whole relationship out of her life. And as I said to her, when you take a big tree out of the garden, something big, make a big decision in the garden, it's a lot of work initially to do that. But once you've done that, it's incredible how much light comes into the garden, how much new growth can occur. And it's the same in your relationship. And as I said to her, once the pain's gone of the breakup, and eventually you get on top of it, you may notice that a whole lot more light will come into your life. And eventually, even, who knows, a new relationship could come in there, So as I've always said in my book and also on videos, when you bring about a change, a whole change in your life occurs. So when you finally make up your mind to get rid of this toxic person, your whole life will change. As painful as it may seem at the beginning, it's going to be incredible when light does come into your life. And sometimes people need a little bit of light pruning. You just need to talk to the person about some conflict you've got or some friction and overcome that, whether it's someone in the workplace or at home, but you're the one who makes the decision, who you allow into your life. Life is precious and life is short. In my life, I like to just associate now with people that I like, that I get on well with. People that build me up, people that are kind to me, people that I'm kind to in return. But I will no longer have relationships with people that annoy the hell out of me or that make me sick or toxic or that get me all worked up. I just don't allow this anymore. And sometimes it can mean letting go of jobs or dissolving businesses or getting rid of relationships. But if you take stock of these relationships and finally have the courage to make the change, you watch what happens to your health long term. All of a sudden, those symptoms that you had, of 10, 15 years duration, they're gone. The gut problems go away. The bloating, the flatulence, the cramping in the gut, the sore shoulders or neck, the headaches, the lower back pain, all these problems, small niggly problems you've had for a long time, they disappear because many of them are in fact stress-related problems. Relationships cause, in some cases, conflict and tension inside our body. And once that relationship goes, the tension and conflict disappears. We no longer have to put up, all these defense mechanisms. We no longer have to produce the stress hormones that reduce our immune functioning, that cause pain in the body and tightness and sleeping problems. Those things all disappear. So have a think about that. There's a little bit of food for thought for you there. Take stock of the relationships. Do a bit of gardening. Maybe a bit of weeding, a bit of pruning, maybe a little bit of chainsawing, but make some changes and watch what happens to your relationship long term. No pills required, no tests required. Just look at your relationships. Thanks for tuning in.